Hi everybody, and welcome back to Channel 8 News. Today we have an important topic about immigration into the United States of America. Now, as you all know, technologies such as VCRs, Walkmans, and CD players have advanced at an ever-increasing rate. Let's start with the immigration from Asia and Latin America. Now, annual Asian immigration figures ranged from 268,000 to 281,000 in the latter part of the 1980s. And from Latin America, in 2000, the Hispanic population was the fastest growing population and emerged as the largest minority in the population of the U.S.
All right, so now we have an interview coming up with one of the workers who's been affected by the immigrant influx.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I work in a labor union down in Texas.
Nice to meet you. So generally speaking, the immigrants have been said to cause the wages, like the average wage of everyone working, to go lower because there's so many of them working the same job. Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree. The more the immigration comes in, they're essentially just taking the jobs that I would have, so now I have to work more hours to fulfill the same amount of pay.
That's unfortunate. How do you think your conditions as a native-born laborer would compare to like an immigrant laborer's conditions? Would you say they're generally like poorer or better?
From what I've seen working, the immigrants' conditions are worse, but because there are so many people coming in, we need more resources. So that also means my area is also going down in condition.
I see. And that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you for coming.
No problem.
And now on to our next segment.
Wasn't that a great segment, guys? Hi, my name is Sam and I'm here to talk about the immigration policy. In 1986, the Congress passed the Immigration Reform and Control Act, which would provide amnesty to aliens, people who aren't born in the U.S. They had to complete one of two stipulations. They had to reside here in the U.S. from January 1982, or they had to complete 90 days of agriculture where they're here for between May 1985 and May 1986. This estimated that 1/4 of the cases were actually fraudulent. The 1986 legislation also contained enforcement provisions to prevent future illegal entry. In 1990, Congress again reformed immigration statutes. The 1990 Immigration Act modified and expanded the 1965 Act. The 1990 Act also mandated the study of immigration, later known as the Jordan Commission. This commission ran from 1990 to 1997. It covered many facets of immigration policy, but started from the perception that the credibility of the immigrations. In 1996, Congress passed the Illegal Immigrant Reform and Immigration Responsibility Act. This act added to border controls by mandating the hiring of more border patrol officers and Immigration and Naturalization Service agents. The Comprehensive Immigration Reform Act of 2007, which would give a path to citizenship to a large majority of illegal entrants in the country, signifying an increase in legal immigration and increased enforcement. As of June 2007, which is the present day, 15,000 amnesty cases are still pending from the IRCA.
Hi there, my name is Mackenzie and we're going to talk about the Sun Belt region. Now, with all these immigrants coming in, where's everyone moving to? Well, I'll tell you, it's an area called the Sun Belt. This typically includes states such as Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, and California. It was coined in 1969 by writer and political analyst Kevin Phillips. This is where the elderly came to retire comfortably. They wanted to escape the cold of winter. Air conditioning for the summer months made it way more tolerable. All the winners of the U.S. presidential elections from 1964 to 2000 were from the Sun Belt. This increased representation in Congress, especially for states such as Texas, Florida, and Arizona, and helped Republicans win majority representation. Southern culture also became influential. Country and Western music developed and spread. Hispanic cultures of Florida also gained recognition. The social programs were developed for migrants, but there were still large sections of poverty. Texas and California also suffered economic decline when oil prices dropped in the 80s and 90s. Industries such as aerospace, defense, and oil took over because of the low involvement of labor unions in this area. Oil industry was propelled by Texas and Louisiana, and tourism grew in Florida and Southern California. Overall, the Sunbelt had a great impact on the economy, politics, and culture in the U.S.
Thank you for watching Channel 8 News. We'll see you next time.